Well, do you wake up thinking there's no justice? No one to turn to, lonely roads, mountains of complaints. It's a fight to survive. You got to know your rights. Woo! Yes, you got to know your rights.
Welcome to Inside the OUR.
Daily living is a struggle. High bills, equipment damage.
Last week, we spoke with Secretary to the Office, Ansard Hewitt. This week, we continue with that very interesting discussion.
The Secretary to the Office also takes some responsibility for the strategic direction that the office ought to take. It helps to draft the corporate plan and to coordinate the activities. That function also help to maintain relations, the office relationship with its various constituencies.
What are some of the external stakeholders that the Secretary to the Office would have to deal with?
Well, we have entities like the International Telecommunications Union, the Caribbean Telecommunications Union, the CTU. We have OCR, which is really a union of Caribbean regulators. We do have grant fundings from such agencies as the IDB, and from time to time the World Bank and UNDP have assisted us. So all of these entities we have to interact with, we report to, we have all kinds of relationships with. And the Secretary to the Office help to maintain those functions.
Okay, what's your staff complement like? Well, more the makeup, not the numbers so much as what are the specialties of the different persons assigned to your division?
Right. Well, we have a manager of regulatory affairs. And I have come up through the ranks as an aside at the OUR because I started out as an economist and then moved on to becoming manager of regulatory affairs, and then now I'm Secretary to the Office. But we have a manager of regulatory affairs, we have a project and research officer, which combine both functions, and there is an administrator who deals with licensing. That's another thing that we have, the Secretary to the Office has responsibility for, to administer the licensing functions of the OUR.
And this licensing, from time to time we see public notices about persons wanting to provide telecommunication services. Sometimes we see notices from some communities. Some of them might not be well known to a lot of our viewers. You know, Hampstead in St. Mary, some other areas where persons are applying for water provider and sewage provider licenses. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, telecom is, as you mentioned, the more frequent ones, one that we see. But the water sector is particularly interesting because there is a thrust to introduce competition to the extent that you can in the water sector. There is the encouragement of private provisioning. And that very interesting innovation is this business of having communities taking responsibility for their water. And Hampstead is is one example that we're particularly proud of because what the community has done has taken responsibility for a local source, and they have got a license from the OUR. And we have tried to guide their activities to help them in any way that we can, because we think that is a very useful innovation and something we hope other communities will do.
Ansard Hewitt, Secretary to the Office.
Regulation for all consumer, country and company, no hugs, no partiality. Everybody has rights, so you got to know your rights. I'll be just it out. So you got to know your rights. So you got to know your rights.